Welcome back, everyone, to Cleveland, Ohio, where the U.S. have a 2-0 lead versus Germany. Looks lopsided on the scoreboard, but it's been a much closer game, irrespective, Julie, of that score.
Yes, both have had very good chances. U.S. just better in finishing them off in front of goal. And here's the first look they get in a better angle. You can see Abby. We had said earlier we didn't think she got too much of a ton. It looks like she did there. And does well to finish it off. And then the second goal, again, Abby putting it on frame. And Rodriguez standing alone in front of the keeper. That's exactly what you're supposed to do, keep it alive. Heather O'Reilly there to finish it off.
First half numbers, the U.S. with the 2 goals. They outshot Germany, had the edge in terms of the shots on goal, edge in the corners as well. There were 11 fouls in this one, a couple of yellow cards, 1 to Prinz, 1 to Abby Wambach. Faces of the game as we get ready to kick off the second half. It's been only 1 change that's been made for the U.S., and that's Krieger, number 16, who has replaced Heather Mitt. So it's a straight swap. Right back for a right back. Krieger's a very interesting story. She plays in Germany for a Frankfurt team. 5 of her teammates are in this one. Going up against her, there's a look at her. It's time to take a look at our substitution, fueled by Gatorade Recover. Her last game was played in early May, and she said her teammates said, "See you in Cleveland." Lilly with a pass back. Boxx. How do things change potentially here for these 2 teams now in the second half, with the score being what it is?
Well, I think Germany is still going to play aggressively. They have to. Now they're down 2 goals, so they're going to send their numbers like they were before. I think the U.S. has to be a little bit more patient now with a 2-0 lead. Not get caught giving up possession easily.
Pass from Garefrekes. Prinz. That was beyond Garefrekes. Behringer had it blocked. Germany could change the complexion of this game with a goal here in the second half. They'll break it up. Foos and O'Reilly holding on to one another. LePeilbet back to the feet of Hope Solo. Grings tried to chase her down. Forced an errant clearance. Picked up by Bresonik. Boxx cut that off. Lilly. Buehler. Boxx. That was Laudehr that almost picked it off. LePeilbet. Chested down by Wambach. There's Germany getting it right back again. Garefrekes to Prinz. Shannon Boxx was on her. Laudehr. Simona Laudehr to the left for Foos. Intended for Behringer. Germany has made no changes here at the start of the second half. But you would expect changes to be made. Multiple on both sides with 6 subs allowed. The last test for Germany before their players go on vacation. The U.S. will have some games in July against Sweden. 1 in Omaha, 1 in East Hartford, Connecticut. Knocked out a play, throw in for Germany. There's Krieger. Didn't speak any German when she went over there. Collegiate career is at Penn State now. She's pretty fluent.
Yeah, she was even talking with the German TV here. Proving. Well, we asked her to prove it. Yeah. Prove that you're conversational.
That's right. Well, she spoke to us. Neither one of us understood her German. Her English, though, was perfect.
And she tinkered with the WPS and the Washington Freedom for 10 games. But said, I like it over there. I want to stay.
O'Reilly. Deflected out of play. Throw in for the U.S. O'Reilly will have the throw in. Buehler steps up. Wambach back for Buehler. Offside, U.S. As Lilly tagged that one, but it's an offside. Germany back on the ball, right side of the field. Krahn. Played long. Speed of Grings. How did she get to that ball? Against Buehler, far side. Nice tap in, closer at the end line. And that's cut off by LePeilbet. Oh, Germany's not going away.
No, and good reaction by Stephanie Cox just to get a toe on it to knock it away because Garefrekes was in.
Prinz holds it. A test here for Germany to see what they have, down by 2, and also a test for the U.S. Can they hold the lead like this against a world power? Into the box. Oh, Laudehr was wide open. Tap back to Solo. Buehler made a big play there.
And that's the one thing you always can count on with the Germans, regardless if it's the men's team, the women's team, they're under 17, under 20, it doesn't matter. They're going to give you some fight, even 2-0 down. And no, look, I get 1 goal in here and we're back in the game. And that's exactly what I'm sure they talked about at halftime. Let's try and press them early, which they are, the U.S. team, and see if we can get back on early, and this game is ours again.
Monica Krahn. Between these two countries, they have won 4 World Cups. All the way back to USAvGER in goal. On a bouncer too. Grings was allowed to pick it up. That was dangerous. She still has it taken down. No foul was called.
I think Grings is understandably upset there.
She's getting the balls that you wouldn't think she'd have a chance at.
No, and she's technical along with the pace that she has.
LePeilbet. Turn it for Wambach. Top to Rodriguez, but it's too far.
The one thing this German team, when I look at, comparing it to past German teams that have been so successful, what I don't see is a great central midfielder. I mean, look at the Bettina Wegmans and Maren Meinerts back in their day that just controlled the game and could get an Inka Grings in and a Prinz in. I don't see that. I mean, Ariane Hingst, who just played the ball out of bounds there, is someone who's just coming off knee surgery. He's been out for, there's a good look at her, for 9 months. And so, this is her first game back. But still, I just don't see that presence.
O'Reilly did some juggling there. Apparently that entire ball was out on the sideline. O'Reilly, one of the goal scorers today. Abby Wambach had the other on a penalty. That's a foul on Krieger. Free kick for Germany in a pretty dangerous spot here. Germans always good at set pieces.
Hey, Rod! You're going to get in the wall! Krieger in this space.
It's a good boom right there.
You're listening to a goalkeeper that's clearly in control and in charge. She just got Rodriguez back into the wall. It was a little late as that ball came over, but there is Solo grabbing it.
And when you have a keeper that is so good in the air and clean in the air like Hope Solo, you can set a very aggressive line, which you saw the U.S. doing there at the 18. Sometimes they'll drop them back, to the 12, the 15.
Nice idea, but the flag is up, offside. Germany.
Not with Hope Solo. She wants you out of there. Clear my space. I want a clear runway when I'm going for that ball.
Hope Solo in the U.S. a little bit better than a year away from the 2011 Women's World Cup. What does this team have to do to be a little bit better and to win another World Cup?
The U.S.
another
team?
Year? Yeah.
Well, I think something that Coach Sundhage talked a lot about in the last few games is their flank play. And you could see the Germans, which are some of the best in the world, at how dangerous they are when they get those flank players forward. And they don't even have their whole team here, like we talked about. So I think the U.S. right now is tinkering with who do we put at our outside back position? Who do we put at our outside midfield position? Does Kristine Lilly still have the legs to take players on? She's going to give you great tactical skill, and she's going to play players in, but can she get herself in? Do you need that? So those are all the things she's looking about, but she says the spine of my team is so strong. My center backs, my center midfielders, my 2 up front. It's just the flanks that I really want to improve upon.
She gets Kate Markgraf back on this team as well, and Christy Rampone soon. Markgraf is here. Rampone not quite ready to go. A chance here. Cutting ball for Rodriguez, knocked away. The U.S. will get it back for Lindsey. Lindsey tried to go wide for Boxx. Settle there, Krieger. A tempting ball in, curled away, but O'Reilly gets to it for Lilly. Let's see what the signal is. Corner.
Good ball in by Krieger, though. Maybe just a little too much pace on it, but I like the idea. I mean, and going back to the flank play situation, you know, it's not that someone hasn't stepped up. It's just they have had injuries, and, you know, just so many different things have come in. Sickness. I mean, there hasn't been someone that's been able to hold it down and get enough looks at that spot.
Fifth corner, the U.S. with Lilly. Headed straight up, but it stays in the box. LePeilbet cracks it. That's blocked as well. And cleared out by Behringer. Another throw in for the U.S. They'll get it in quickly to Lindsey. Back in it goes to Wambach, but USAvGER, quick off her line, good in the air, grabs it, and sends this one long. And
Germany actually was a little slow in getting their back line cleared out of there, so USAvGER did well to come out.
Here get Prinz, lost it. And of course, Cox into an errant clearance. It'll go out of play. Quick throw in for Germany. Into the box, Prinz. Maybe one touch too many. Hingst blocked. Here the U.S. You don't want to see Birgit Prinz have much time anywhere near that 18-yard area.
No, and lucky for the U.S., she didn't have a clean first touch on it.
Nice ball, Garefrekes. Right back, Grings, and the offside flag goes up on her yet again. Garefrekes might have been too unselfish there, right up the middle with a chance. You can appreciate trying to make that extra pass, but there's no opportunity there now.
I actually liked it, though, because Hope Solo is hard to beat from out, you know, 25 yards out. But, you know, everyone bid on her taking a shot, and she tried to slip it into to Grings.
That's Lindsey. Boxx out. Throw in for Germany. 2010 FIFA World Cup returns to ESPN June 11th, live from South Africa. 32 teams with one dream, and that's to raise the world's biggest trophy. FIFA World Cup on ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, and ESPN3.com, and also on ESPN Radio. Bartusiak on the left. We'll switch it over. Bresonik all the way back to USAvGER. LePeilbet. Sent forward by Cox. Knocked away by Krahn. Bresonik. That's Grings again making that run. Lindsey laid it off. Stephanie Cox. Hingst stepped up, won it. That was a difficult ball. Inside it goes. Garefrekes! What a save by Solo! That's clearly her best on the day. It remains 2-0 U.S.
And that is a huge save, because a finish right there, 57 minutes in, gives the Germans life.
Laudehr. Birgit Prinz. Sneaking through Garefrekes. And the flag is up on the far side of the field. Sixth offside call on Germany.
We're going to get another look. Hingst doing a great job just to chip it in over the back post, over to the backside, and well, what a save by Hope Solo to cover that goal. Garefrekes trying to get it back across the goal.
That's Amy Rodriguez back to live action into the box, now back outside of it. Heather O'Reilly trying to square it to Boxx. Lindsey comes back for it. Shannon Boxx back for Lindsey. O'Reilly just missed Wambach. Pass back, saved by USAvGER. So one big play on one side of the field by Solo, the other at the other end by USAvGER.
And there's the difference goalkeepers can make, keeping you in a game right there. Because if it goes to 3-0, that's when the heads start hanging and body language turns bad.
Especially after the way Germany has started this half.
Mm-hmm.
earning a goal, if you will, but not getting it because of Solo and then having to give one up at the other end. So it stays fairly close at 2-0. Next goal either way, if we get one, could change it all. Krieger, Germany have 2 subs up. Looking to make their first changes. Prinz for Grings. She's in. What a shot, but it's just wide. From up here at press box level, you could see that opening at the far post, and I thought she might have nailed it.
Hope Solo cut her angle off pretty well, though. But this started with Krieger getting her pocket picked, and then Grings trying to squeak it in. Just a little bit of the wrong bend on that ball. It's bending the wrong way.
Now we're going to see a couple of substitutions. That is Celia Okoyino de Mbabi, who will check in. Dad is Cameroonian, mom is French. Behringer is out, and now Kulig will come into the game. Hingst will come out. So those are 2 changes made. Fresh legs coming in, younger legs as well. The 20 and the 21-year-old coming in for Germany. O'Reilly. Nice idea to Rodriguez. Bresonik came back to defend. Rodriguez back for Lilly. Cox leads Lilly. Teammates in Boston in the WPS. That goes out. Throw in USA. US for the 2-0 lead. 62nd minute. Tap through. A chance for Lilly. Off the post and in. Goal number 130 for Kristine Lilly. US.
And that goal came off the sheer persistence of Abby Wambach, just barreling through players to get through on that baseline. And here's another good look. You're just not going to give up on the ball. Nice little nutmeg to get through. And then Kristine doing well to get in a little seam. She drops in looking for it and finishes it off for 130.
She's thrilled. She's going to be thrilled to see Kate Markgraf coming into the game as well, making her return to the USA lineup. And there is Kate. Last time she played for the U.S., December of 2008 against China. She said she wasn't nervous when she came back, even though she missed an entire year to give birth to twins, a boy and a girl. But she's excited about this opportunity.
Great to see her back there. Hasn't even been a year since she's had her twins. And she said, you know, getting back playing with the Chicago Red Stars. I said, how are you feeling? She said, I am having a blast, as she started giggling. She said, I'm having so much fun.
Lindsey leads it for Wambach. Another goal for Wambach. 4-0 USA.
And here's an excellent example of how at this level you cannot afford to miss opportunities like the Germans missed in the last 10 minutes. With Garefrekes getting in, with Grings getting in. In the first half, they had some really good looks. You just get punished when you're playing the better teams and you don't finish those off. And Lindsey playing in the middle for an injured Carly Lloyd, gets a good look in behind that back line and a perfectly paced ball in behind that back line, and Abby finishes it nicely. But what a great ball in by Lindsey.
You said before, it's a funny game. It could be a cruel game. It's 2-0 USA, and the Germans have a great chance. Hope Solo makes a tremendous save. Otherwise, it's 2-1. And now all of a sudden, it's 4-0 minutes later. 2 goals a minute apart for the U.S. As Solo comes out to make the play, and while we were on replay, Alex Morgan just checked into the game. for Amy Rodriguez. So that's a change that's been made by the U.S. Only the second cap for Morgan. First one was against Mexico as a sub. What a day for Wambach. A couple of goals, 1 assist, and 1 broken nose from a previous game.
And the U.S. in general has to be so pleased about this, because the last 2 times they've played them, one has been in front of a hugely partisan crowd of 30,000 in Germany, and they still squeaked out, even though really Germany had the better part of the game, a 1-0 win. And then they played them in the Algarve Cup in pouring rain, a totally messy, muddy, windy field. It was just ugly. And now they got them on a nice day, you know, in the, you know, semi-non-partisan crowd. I mean, this is obviously a U.S. stadium, but it's not crazy like it was in Germany. And you get a 4-0 result.
Speaking of Germany, when they have that World Cup next year, over 250,000 tickets have been sold for that. The final will be in Frankfurt. The opening game will be in Berlin. That's a ton of tickets sold, better than a year in advance of that World Cup.
And they said that's even with all the focus, of course, being on South Africa and their men's team.
Yep. The cross had Solo twisting as the cross came in from Okoyino de Mbabi. The U.S. are back on the ball.
So this may be an interesting sign of things to come, because when Coach Sundhage brought in Kate Markgraf at center back, instead of pulling Rachel Buehler straight out, she put her out at left back for Stephanie Cox. And she has said, I want to look at Buehler out wide. I've used her some there, but I really want to see, because Christy Rampone, as we said, is coming back from pregnancy. Kate Markgraf is back on the field. So she's got a lot of center back options.
She has Kat Whitehill too, although she's not dressed as the 18 here, but was in this camp. So a lot of depth on this team. And there might be some interesting players cut before the next Women's World Cup. But that's what these games are for, to test. World Cup qualifying for CONCACAF, the USA's region, won't be until the fall. Boxx will push it back. Kate Markgraf. That one's deflected. Bresonik will get closer to it as that goes out of play. And there are the World Cup specifics. That final we mentioned is in Frankfurt, where Krieger told us yesterday there is tremendous awareness of that, with signage, with billboards, with people talking about it. It's a big deal in Frankfurt, which is one of the men's World Cup cities back in '06.
Right, and that's where the final is. Opening is in Berlin, and she plays for FC Frankfurt. But they did say, like we mentioned, that, you know, after the World Cup, things will definitely ramp up after the men's World Cup.
Yeah.
But still, 250,000 tickets sold is great news for Germany. And you know they're going to put on a very organized tournament with great venues.
9 cities. In some cases, different cities than what we saw at the men's World Cup. Some are the same, but some are different.
But you have to wonder what a loss like this does to their mentality.
Prinz looking for one. What a save again by Solo. She won't let up in with a 4-goal lead. 2 outstanding saves for Solo.
And here's a look at it. A scrum right in the middle there. Prinz gets a look and just needs a half-open window, sees that she's got that far post, and Popp doing very well to deflect that wide.
That was her last kick of the game. She's replaced by Alexandra Popp. No reason for Prinz to play 90 minutes in a day when the team is fatigued and they're down by 4 goals. So good move for Sylvia Knight. And Kristine Lilly gets a nice ovation as she comes out for Megan Rapinoe. Bresonik over the bar. She had a good chance, though.
The player who came in for Prinz, Alexander Popp, the youngest on the German team at 19. Only 5 caps for Germany, but they said she's come in since the Algarve and has done very well. 2 goals already. So a good opportunity for Sylvia Knight to see a younger player and how she does in a situation like this.
Krahn will send it over. A lopsided scoreline. with the USA over Germany 4-0. As this goes out of play, it'll be a throw-in for the U.S. Everything going the USA's way in the sense that they had a lead, built that lead, had some chances to prove how strong they are in goal because Germany's had some chances, and now you can use your subs.
Yeah, and look, there's still a lot of time left, 20 minutes, but still, I was talking about how this works on you mentally because, as Krieger mentioned to us yesterday, plays over in Germany, she says, you know, the U.S. is all the Germans think about. That's their goal. They want to beat them. They want to beat them in the final of the World Cup.
This one goes out. It's a goal kick for Germany. Kristine Lilly, the ageless one, as we mentioned, she'll be 39 at the time of the next World Cup, and you see where she ranks. Her and Abby Wambach, some tremendous numbers, and they've combined for 3 goals tonight, plus some assists. Lilly also has over 100 career assists.
Spanning 4 decades.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, that's incredible. I mean, to think she could be have played in all 6.
How has she
World
lasted
Cups.
this long? You were a teammate of hers. She's lasted beyond everybody. How has she done it?
I have no idea.
You don't?
No, I said.
Well, who else can I
always
ask?
say to her, yeah, check in with someone else.
You're the only
Call
one
me
up. You're the only one up here.
I said, can we just clone you, please? I say, when I ask her, how do you do it? She goes, because I'm dumb.
And she has a chance now to watch her younger teammates try to close out Germany. It's a 4-0 lead on a gorgeous day, sunny day here in Cleveland, Ohio. Krahn.
We mentioned earlier what amazes me, beyond the fact that, you know, she's got all these caps and goals and span 4 decades, is the position she plays, you know? Not just here for the U.S. team, for her club team, for Boston Breakers. She's been playing out wide. That is just, you know, spoken as a center midfielder who occasionally got stuck outside, and I would wind my way back into the middle. It's too much running.
Here's Grings letting it rip. Wide of a diving, Popp solo. If you hadn't heard about Inka Grings before, she's a player to watch, certainly in the future for Germany. We mentioned her goals, leading the Bundesliga, leading the Algarve Cup, and you've seen some of her great skill here today. Although she hasn't connected, she has come close. Solo to the halfway line toward Boxx. And O'Reilly knows that one could have been better. Tuesday night, ESPN. Team USA plays one of their final tune-up matches. This one against the Czech Republic. That is on Tuesday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. Landon Donovan, Tim Howard, and we'll see if Okoyino makes his first appearance in months after coming back from injury. The U.S. still battling with some injuries going into this camp of 30 players.
It'd be nice if he got a full 90 in. If that's possible.
Into the box this goes. That's going to be cleared away by Krieger. Wambach cut off. LePeilbet gave that ball away. U.S. doesn't want to see any bad habits break out here with a 4-0 lead.
You know, we just briefly mentioned Alex Morgan coming up top for Amy Rodriguez, and another name we haven't said at all tonight is Lauren Cheney, who is missing this game and would typically play alongside Abby Wambach up top, but her sister is getting married, and so she had a wedding today. But she's, you know, leading the U.S. this year with 5 goals. Well, was coming into this game. Abby now got one to tie her, so she is another option that Coach Sundhage has up top, and probably another reason she wants to look at Alex Morgan today.
Missing Lauren Cheney, missing Tobin Heath, Kelly O'Hara. We mentioned Carly Lloyd earlier. A lot of players who have aspirations of being on the 2011 Women's World Cup team, not here today. And the same for Germany. We've got some key players out. Garefrekes turning it toward the box. The cross headed away, but off a German player. Kulig was the one that got a touch on that. Wambach holds back for Boxx. Boxx is taken down by Alexandra Popp. 75th minute. USA all over Germany today. 4-0. A couple of goals by Abby Wambach. One for Heather O'Reilly. One for Kristine Lilly. US looking to close out the final 15 minutes or so in style. With LePeilbet's free kick. Wambach trying to head it towards Morgan. An easy play for USAvGER. To Grings. She was contested there. It's Markgraf that was on her. Buehler picks it up. Rapinoe. Rapinoe will push it back. Rapinoe has had to overcome 2 ACL surgeries to get back to play at a high level. Lindsey.
Yeah, hasn't played for the U.S. for a year.
Germany will get it back. Bartusiak. Bringing it up slowly. Laudehr. Garefrekes. No quit in her game. She'll send it all the way across. And this one is up high and over. An opportunity wasted. Good to see Kate Markgraf back. She said she was absolutely surprised at the recall. She was sitting at 198 caps, so she's getting closer now to 200. One away after this one.
And it's funny, the first thing I noticed when Kate stepped on the field, there was a cross in the box, and she's straight on her man, tracking her in, and organizing at the same time. And I think that's something that she brings to that back line. She's got, not just a presence in terms of experience, but a verbal presence, which is always important.
I asked her what would be the biggest adjustment. She said one of her strengths she felt was reading the game. And you don't just read the game immediately when you come back and play in the WPS for 1 or 2 games or 5 games. So it's getting the reps for Markgraf at this level that will help her to read the game like she used to.
No question. And she had some trouble coming back from her first child, Keegan, physically. And so she said, I wanted to wait. I wanted to go slower this time. I didn't want to rush. And because Pia asked her to come in back in December, and she said, I'm not ready.
Yeah. What is it with the soccer moms? You have experience with that. Julie Fawcett, the all-time soccer mom. I mean,
yeah,
if
but I had mine
needs a consultant. Yeah, but if somebody needs a consultant, there are plenty of them, right, from the U.S. team?
Yeah, no question. I mean, Joy was the first to give everyone the courage to do it.
Yep.
But see, I think she set this golden standard they all thought they should live up to.
Look at this on the chance, and it's wide. USAvGER not happy with the defense there as O'Reilly was looking for a second. Back to MLS action for next week. ESPN2 delivers the game of the week. FC Dallas, led by Jeff Cunningham, taking on the Chicago Fire at Toyota Park. MLS game of the week on ESPN2 Thursday, next Thursday, 8 Eastern.
I think the U.S. is hoping, because Heather O'Reilly gets herself in those positions a lot with her speed, that...
Well, there's Morgan with a keeper out, and another good play for USAvGER. She's still battling.
That she can finish those off, that chooses better surfaces. I mean, we talked about her having a drought of 14 games coming in.
Headed away by Germany to Garefrekes, and she'll give that away. Unusual for her. Krieger went down. Play continues. Gets a little sloppy there. Laudehr with an advantage call in her favor. And then she got taken down. And now more bodies are flying on the home of the NFL's Browns.
And if I'm Coach Nayed on the sidelines, if I am, I have to be a little bit concerned that the U.S. is getting so many looks and so many opportunities in. I mean, they're right there between Alex Morgan and Heather O'Reilly. It could have been 6-0.
Lori Lindsey's coming out. Averbuch will come in. How did Lindsey do today in Carly Lloyd's spot?
I think she actually did very well, and I think she's had a lot of years with the national team. Back in 2004, 2006, she's been in the residential camp. This is the first time where she's actually got a pretty consistent look. And given a chance with Carly Lloyd being injured, she's fighting for one of those backup spots. So I think she did very well. Played that great ball in to Abby for the goal, for her second goal.
And I'll take
U.S. will have a free kick here in the 80th minute. Up by 4 goals against mighty Germany. Maybe a 5th. That one was blocked, but there was some contact in the box, and the foul goes against the U.S. O'Reilly with 1 goal, Lilly with 1, Abby Wambach with 2 on the day. The top 2 teams in the world playing today in the United States, where Germany hasn't played since 2003. And that's when they won the World Cup. They didn't win the final against the U.S. That was the semi when they knocked them out, but they beat Sweden in that final game.
Are we talking 2003? Are we really going there, JP?
Sorry.
Thought we were to discuss that.
No, I was. You don't have to
Off
go there.
limits.
You don't have to go there.
Trying to revise history, actually. I blame it actually on the fact that we, at the time, I think we wore white shorts, blue socks, and a red top. Not that I remember.
That was it.
And I said, walking out on the field, we look like the Norwegians. What are we doing here? We never wear like blue socks and a red top. Who does that? Norway does that. And I think I jinxed us because I walked out of the field that day.
That was a strange World Cup. Remember, China was supposed to host it?
Yes.
But then the SARS epidemic, that changed everything.
So we got it last minute.
Yep. Everything changed there.
Right.
And Germany was the better team in that overall tournament.
Yes.
Your all-time champions going all the way back. But the
the
Women's World Cup has come a long way since '91 when nobody really knew about you guys back there. A bunch of young kids, right?
That one was in China as well, the inaugural. I actually had to convince my dad to go to that.
You did?
Yeah, he didn't know what a World Cup was. You know, he's a baseball, American football kind of guy. He's like, what are these World Cup things again? It's my busy time of the year, honey.
Well, remember, you guys won it, and it was really almost like a secret compared to what it's like now.
Exactly. We thought, I was at Stanford at the time, we thought we had changed the world. We would change the world of soccer in the United States. I came back, and there were 2 people at the airport. Tom Meredith being one of them, who's in the stands today, bless him, who was our ops guy, and I think our bus driver.
That was it?
That was it. Thanks, Tommy.
It's different than in 1999. She's got ice on her left wrist. We saw her fall pretty hard over the end line on a replay. So she might have done some damage there. They've got ice, at least as a precaution.
Yeah, Kristine was having the trainer check it out earlier on the bench. We saw a shot up. Might be her bowling hand.
She bowled too. She's probably incredible at that too. There's the landing.
That is a good time.
Doesn't look like it bothered her though, right? I mean,
she's getting it checked out.
They shrug it off, just like the men do, that kind of an injury.
I think one time actually she came to practice wearing like a wrist guard or something, and so forever we were chiding her about her bowling hand or something. I think she's going to pull that back out of her bag.
83rd minute. USA all over Germany on the scoreboard, 4-0. But it hasn't really been a 4-0 type of game when you think back to the chances that Germany had before and the times that they had them. Inside it goes. Laudehr's pass. She's looking for Kulig.
This hasn't been a good day for the Germans between Bayern Munich and this game.
Oh, that's right. Good point. Good point.
The German press up here at the stadium had some long faces even before the game started. It actually may be a blessing for them, though. You go into a World Cup year, you're hosting it, you're the 2-time reigning champion.
USA cross coming in. USAvGER straight up the middle. And finally, it's taken over.
And this may be
Omilade.
a good little reminder that, you know what? Sure, we're the reigning champion and we're hosting, but we got a lot of work to do. Because, as we discussed, it could have been more. And it could still be more, but it could have been 5-6 just in the last 10 minutes.
Those two have faced each other in Germany. Grings plays for Duisburg. Krieger for Frankfurt.
Just a little love tap.
The free kick coming up. Tough day for Grings in Germany. Down by 4 against the United States. Boxx up the middle. It's cut off. Not much room in that sideline, and even less as it was lost by Grings. 85th minute. The USA is trying to put the finishing touch on this one with LePeilbet to Markgraf. Pia Sundhage said yesterday she'd like to work Markgraf into the game. It would depend on how the game went, and you could tell at halftime that this was probably going to be a game in which Markgraf would play. And then when the score got even bigger, good opportunity for Kate to get some minutes in.
I mean, there was a time not long ago that Kate talked about, I'm retiring. You know, she thought she was done with the U.S. team. So it's good to see she's having so much fun being back in the mix.
Starter in the last 6 tournaments for the U.S. Look at the shutout string. We talked about that before, not the streak, but the pride on defense of the U.S. team.
And now has 3 kids under, what, 3? Good Lord.
Rapinoe. Looked like a shot that turned into a pass. Wambach sending it in, and that's wide. Germany fell asleep on that.
You just can't talk enough about how Abby, though, what I love most about her, in the 85th minute, you're up 4-0. She's chasing down a ball to the end line. I mean, that's what she brings. She's not wearing the captain's armband, but talk about leadership.
From the corner for the U.S. Auger punched it out. It'll send Germany forward. 1 against 3. It's Grings again. She's so skilled on the ball. Leads it. And there's another Hope solo save. Robbing young Alexandra Popp. That's 3 outstanding saves for Hope solo. Concentration right up until the end.
This could be a good sign of things to come for Hope in big tournaments. I think Rapinoe gave up on that a little bit, actually, but Hope there again, and she hasn't been real active in the last 20 minutes, so even makes that save more impressive. She stayed in the game and stayed focused.
Headed away by the U.S. Brought right back in. That's wide on the attempt from Sonja Fuss. Goalkeeper of the year last year in the WPS. 3 shutouts in 4 games already this year. She's second in all categories to the great Brianna Scurry, your former teammate. So that's one of the reasons for all the shutouts. The U.S. has always had a great goalkeeper.
Yeah, and on top of having great reflexes and being a great shot stopper like Brianna Scurry was, she's excellent with her feet, which Brianna Scurry really never had that strength. That was always something she was constantly working on and didn't have the confidence to play with the ball at her feet. Hope actually has played on the field before. When she was at Washington, I think she actually even jumped out on the field sometimes. So an added benefit besides being a great shot stopper.
Be a free kick for Germany when play resumes. Bartusiak is over the ball. Okoyino, Mbabi pushed it back. Sonja Fuss. That's picked off as well. That was Wambach who got leveled. Morgan pulled it back. The only collegiate player on this team, Rapinoe, inside, and that's Auger. Averbuch comes over to try to get that ball instead. Germany will take it. Closing minutes of this game in Cleveland. They try to spring Grings, and there's Solo reading it all the way. When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think an easy game for Hope Solo. No, not really.
No, and especially that first half. I mean, it could have been a different first 20 minutes, no question. Again, you go back to the point of, you know, why the most successful teams in the world, they have to have good finishers.
The U.S. continuing the battle, even with a 4-goal lead. Instead, Kulig, Okoyino, Mbabi. The idea was all right on the back heel, but didn't work. Throw in for the Germans.
And the Germans are probably thinking, can't they just let up a little bit? But, you know, you got players out there fighting for a spot with 1 year to go. An Averbuch, a Rapinoe, a Krieger.
Yellow card was just given, I believe, to Popp for something that happened before. So that'll be the third booking. It's called by the referee, Markgraf. Mbabi's pass laid out there by Popp, but there was nobody there in red for Germany. Markgraf up the middle. Boxx. Well done to Wambach. Intended for Rapinoe. Germany steps up to win that. Laid out by Bresonik. Far side. Here comes the cross. One in the air. The Germans get it back, but they're unable to spring Laudehr. Wambach coming back the other way. Long ball. Good run. Good ball to O'Reilly. Here's a teasing cross as well. It's knocked away. Mbabi has it blocked by Averbuch. They're going to say that went off Germany. Here's O'Reilly. 2 minutes will be added on here. Good day for the USA. Top two teams in the world. You wouldn't know it by that score. Abby Wambach has 2 of those goals. You would have expected certainly a much closer game between numbers 1 and 2 in the world.
And you know, there could be a load of excuses the Germans could use, but so could the U.S. team if they had gone the other way for them. But you know, it's one thing when their players are saying, it's coming off a long season, we're a little bit tired.
Hat trick maybe. Wambach looks. She'll give it to Morgan, and the flag went up. Wambach says no. Well, she might have had the hat trick. She is so unselfish. Great idea to give Morgan her potentially first international goal.
She got punished for being so unselfish, which is unfortunate because she could have walked it in herself.
Wambach chasing it down. 1 goal for every 99 minutes scored for Wambach. The great Mia Hamm scored 1 for every 130, and with her 2 goals today, it'll be even a better percentage.
Oh, I think that's onside. I think you give that the benefit of the doubt.
On, you said, right?
I think it's on, yeah.
Mbabi chasing this down. Just seconds left in this one. I don't think even the U.S. expected to win by a score like this.
I don't think Alex Morgan expected that ball.
No, probably not.
It's probably why she was almost in front of her.
Well, they can laugh and joke about it when the game is over, especially when you win it like this. Grings tapping it up the middle. Boxx knocked it away and gets it back. That'll do it. The top team in the world, the United States, beats the number 2 team, Germany, 4-0. Wambach with a great day, and almost turned out greater at the end.
And you walk away from this as a U.S. team and you think, gosh, we get a win out of it against the best team in the world, and we got to look at players and a game against the best team in the world. And so I think Coach Sundhage is going to be very excited about that performance from the U.S. team today, because I think it could have been more than 4-0 for the U.S. team. And on the flip side, Coach Nyad is thinking, I got some work ahead in the next year.
What a great performance from Abby Wambach. We'll catch up with her when we come back to Cleveland, where the USA beats Germany 4-0.